What's the biggest red flag you overlooked because your so was so hot? He got into a car wreck because he installed a PlayStation in his car and he and his friend were playing it while he was driving. Interestingly enough, his ex cornered me at my place of work right as I started hanging out with him, and she warned me about him. I brushed it off and wrote her off as crazy. Sure enough, literally everything she said came true. Her warning always lived in the back of my mind and eventually helped me get the nerve to kick him out. I've always wanted to run into her again and thank her and apologize for calling her crazy. When I asked her dad for her hand in marriage, he said, "Are you sure you know what you are getting yourself into?" Said she thought cheating could be used as a power move. Every time we fought she would call her mom and after a minute hand me the phone and start to go down on me while her mother told me how she was and how I had to treat her. F***KIA nuts. One day she turned to me and said my doctor disagrees, but I've decided to go off the medication. My ex and I had an argument as we were going to bed. Realizing that we weren't getting anywhere, we decided to deal with it in the morning. I fell asleep and she kept fuming to the point of her turning towards me and punching me in the kidneys. I woke up unable to breathe. I don't react well to violence and just got dressed and left the apartment for night. She apologized in the morning and we talked it out and in some warped logic agreed that since she is so petite, her hitting me was not a big deal. Nah, it is a big deal and there is no justification for violence. He nearly got us killed tons of times while he had his initial D-like fantasies of going around tight corners super fast and cutting it real close with rock walls, despite how many times I told him not to. Panic attack nearly every time I had to hop in the car with him. Any pleasant, romantic, sweet, loving, gratuitous thing I did he would treat me like S***T. When I would show zero interest in him for being such a dickhead he would treat me like royalty. Pull out every stop, every trick in the book to romance me and make me forget about it. When I would be sweet back it turned him off. The more I ignored him and rejected him for being a total asshole, the more he wanted me. It was this weird game. After a while I grew tired. I didn't want to play anymore. He believed the Necronomicon was real and claimed to have done several incantations from it. Every single one of her friends told me not to date her. If a guy/girl tells you that they are a lot to handle then they are probably telling you the truth. A book wall covered with those really trashy fake friends cause drama posts written in cursive. It's a red flag. My brain knew it, but my dick thought it knew better. Her father told me days before we got married that she was a 7 narcissist and incapable of loving anyone but herself. Thinking back, all I had were red flags, no green flags really at all. She cheated on her last boyfriend, and despite all my friends telling me to not do it, I did, and you'll never guess what ended up happening. She agrees with everything I say. He moved way too fast and kept pressuring me to have a baby with him after knowing him for 4 months. Oh boy. Edit. I forgot the best part. He made me pee on a pregnancy test in front of him during our breakup because get this, he thought I was pregnant and was going to keep the baby from him. Edit again. This happened in 2013. No babies happened. But I heard from a mutual friend that he started dating someone at the end of 2016. The GF was still married, and they were married by May 2017. So, good riddance is what I'm saying. Talking about how much they would F***K my friend. She said would doesn't mean she will. She did. When they say every guy/girl I've met has abandoned me and I didn't do anything wrong or something along those lines. If everyone else is always the problem, then you might be the problem. Didn't faze me though because tits. I didn't say that. 2 minutes after saying that. Constantly suggested I murder her ex. Wanted me to wear a mask of her ex's face during sex. When talking about sex she felt the need to mention I wouldn't need to wear a condom cause she's been came in so many times and hadn't got pregnant yet. That she was addicted to heroin. I thought I could help her. Bad idea. Ended up getting strung out myself. Where do I start? His drinking problem, his volatile relationship with his ex-wife, his never being single for over a decade. Edit. I feel like I worded that last point awkwardly. Since his teens he's always had the next lady lined up before ending the relationship he was in. It was a bit different with the end of our relationship as the person he had fallen in love with was married and related to him. He was recently unemployed and had been F***ing a very gay drug dealer for the opportunity to do Molly. He insisted he was straight and proved it by F***ing some fat Catholic chick while on Molly. Held my hand, looked deep into my eyes, and wistfully protested, "Don't finish your schooling in the city an hour away, I'm afraid you will meet and like someone else instead." What is that Bojack quote? If you are wearing rose-colored glasses, all the red flags just look like flags. Asterisk I apostrophe am mentally unstable, emotionally manipulative, and will probably hurt you asterisk. Edit. Guys, I'm a girl and this post was about a guy. Heroin. Pretty sure it was all the heroin. Why would I put away my shopping cart? People get paid for that. Proceeds to leave it in middle of parking spot. I ended up putting it away myself anyway, but my god. Currently have plans with a girl who threatened to kill herself because I was on the phone with my mother, who she thought was another girl. At the time that incident occurred we had been on 2 dates. That he was a nearly 30-year-old man trying to date a then 16-year-old me. One girl I liked had some amazing boobs that were atly my type. Too bad she had a tattoo of the Columbine shooters on her waist. He was a drug dealer who lied about literally every single thing, had me sharing my location with him at all times, and constantly cheated. Since then I've gotten my self-esteem out of the trash can, but I still am so mortified when I think of how low I was and how he took such advantage of that. But he was so hot. Probably telling me that the reason I was emotionally attached to her was because of my white ownership mentality. 'Cause black people don't feel attachment, I guess. Man, that was a train wreck. Edit. I just realized how misleading this wording was. LMAO. I'm the white one. She's black. She was super into her looks, wore lots of makeup, talked negatively about other women's looks, watched the Kardashians as much as humanly possible, talked about Instagram constantly, and oh my god, as I'm typing this out I can't even remember what the hell we ever did while we were in the same room together. As soon as sex got boring, our relationship was over. Makes sense now, but at the time I tried like hell to make it work, yet simultaneously I had no idea what to do. Him grinding on me and groping me at a concert when he was with his ex and dumping her the next day to be with me. I was 16 and a self-conscious idiot. He did the same thing to me a couple months later. He fell in love with that girl and was with her for a year. I found out that they broke up because she cheated on him throughout the relationship. Karma? Controlling behavior with a side of gaslighting. I dated a charismatic man who was so much fun. Let's call him Eddie, because that's his name. Eddie was the definition of life of the party. Had wild stories for days. We would sit at a bar and he knew someone everywhere we went. Only men though. And most of his stories involved a crazy woman. I didn't fully realize that until later. Eddie ended up getting blackout drunk and violent one night. Very aggressively kept me in his apartment by force for hours and hours. I thought he was going to kill me. I tried calling 911 and blurted out the address as fast as I could, but he grabbed my phone before I could finish and sinisterly grumbled to the dispatcher, "Sh's fine." He took my phone and my keys. He smashed me into some walls and grabbed my face and roughed me up. I escaped and he was charged with assault, false kidnapping, interference with a phone during an emergency and disorderly conduct. Don't trust guys with more than 10 crazy girls in his past. Nothing was ever his own fault. It was always everyone else who was wrong or who had the problem. Everyone was always out to get him. He was the problem. Make sure to like and subscribe for more daily content. Thanks for watching.